the Shadow Fiend, so he's going to be hovering around the mid lane a lot. The Skywrath's going to be more geared towards protecting the Gyrocopter.
10 seconds
With that said, could be a Funnick offlane Earthshaker. We've seen offlane Earthshakers like Yao, where he spends a lot of time getting early experience, but then he can still come to the mid lane around the time Clean Pain hits level 6 and offer his fissure to get a kill.
Definitely some flexibility, but 2 other offlaners banned already with the Darkseer and the Clock, so given the limited options, well, and the Tusk, the Spirit Breaker, the Brood, so given the limited options, maybe it is indeed an offlane shaker. Now the 5th pick, or 5th ban, excuse me. I think they ban a support here. I am inclined towards that idea of Funnick handling the shaker.
Yeah, especially with all the big offlaners taken out. I mean, both Na'Vi and IG were banning offlaners in that second stage, so...
Trying to think what's even left. I mean, there's...
Centaur? Well, there we go. There's one.
I mean, there's Legion Commander, Bristleback...
Invictus Gaming's turn to pick.
There's not much.
I can't think of much else. That's
Is
5 offlane bans.
Smaller.
Actually 6.
And last ban onto the Razor. So Burning's played 1 or 2 games of this era. You talked about it, though. It hadn't necessarily met that much success.
You know what they could pick, actually? Maybe something like a Puck. Really no control for
I was thinking Magnus. Funnick's played a bit of offlane Magnus, too. But they haven't got the clear carry to Empower. But the Empower Gyrocopter, it's still bonus damage. Safe lane clings for Burning. Here we go. This is... it doesn't necessarily suit his more defensive farming nature, but he can mix up his playstyle a bit when he gets this hero.
Puts 430 into quite possibly the true one position as the Shadow Fiend mid. And the Invis bros will be on the field. IG with 2 Invis heroes in their last 2 games now, counting this one in the last one, I should say.
Clinks is so good at punishing and zoning most offlaners as well. It's really hard to lane against this fella, so... As viable options go, ooh. I feel you're very limited in heroes that can actually stand up to Clinks. And IG are going to be leaving Clinks alone a bit, I imagine. Undying in the bounty roaming, CM wanting to get maybe a couple levels in the jungle. But what actually lanes are you? Even a Queen of Pain offlane, I think, is actually not the best matchup against a Clinks. Clinks just has so much right-click damage.
Yeah, you can't lane against him as Quap. Low armor, very low HP. If you have a strong dual lane, it's one thing, but if you're just on your own, you're gonna struggle.
Maybe the old school Funnick Batrider. Batrider a pick these days. Cloud9 picked it in their opening game.
Yeah, they ran. Was it Ember? No, they ran Bat, and then the Ember was on LGD's side. That's right. That was
a crazy game. I was so excited because it was like the first game of the group stage, and Batrider was getting picked. And I was like, "Is Batrider every TI Batrider suddenly becomes relevant again?" And it's a fun hero to watch. I really like him, but that was the only Batrider so far. I think Cloud9 might pick it again, but hard to know. So, Na'Vi thinking things through.
It's such a straightforward draft for them so far. Very safe, very standard.
I think Earthshaker is your best offline option. Like, he's going to get zoned, he's not going to get farmed, but he can be guaranteed experience just by fissure blocking some waves, but... Na'Vi seem a bit stumped. They're using all their extra time. They're not committed to any one thing.
Stumped, or are they plotting?
Pudge. Of course.
I mean, there's so many other unpicked heroes, you know? I'd love to see, like, a Kunkka, a Faceless Void, used to be a Funnick Classic. Great with the Gyro and the Quap, but not so good against the Clinks, per se. Venomancer has seen a little bit of
Doom could come back.
It's the Bane, so it'll be a support Bane. Offlane Banes. They are going to copy the secret style here. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if they swapped the Bane Earthshaker, but Bane versus Clinks?
Art style is not normally the Earthshaker. Probably this is Saniko's hero too.
That's interesting. Maybe those two swap then. I don't think that really does much to fool IG.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it will be Funnick Earthshaker, it could just be Saniko Skywrath, and then, yeah, it ends up with Art style on the Bane. But we'll see. Maybe they're sticking to this. Maybe it is just a bit of a role swap to some extent, or hero swap. I think Funnick will still be in that offlane position.
Maybe he'll pull his mask off to reveal one of the unpicked heroes of the event. Maybe they'll do that for the All-Star match this year.
No surprises on the IG side as far as players picking up their heroes and where people's going to go. I don't think we see any kind of a Clinks offlane this time around. Na'Vi, can they look to pressure the Clink. So that's the other, I guess, one of the bigger questions. Like, they pick Bane, do they dual lane or offensive tri-lane? Doesn't seem to be a viable option, but wait and see.
Do you think there will be a new hero at the All-Star event this year? We're gonna see Pit Lord. That's the big one people are talking about. You know who I want? I want Arc Warden. Fun.
I don't think they will, just because there's nothing that would, like, it was just like the techies hype. Like, everybody be asking for techies for so long.
There's nothing that's gonna.
People knew it was coming soon.
Sell hats or future Arcanas the same way.
Yeah, to me it's like, even if they suddenly added Pit Lord into the All-Star match, it's not gonna actually be super high. It would be hype just because Pit Lord's been added, but it wouldn't be like it wouldn't have any added hype because it's happening during an All-Star match, I think. Whereas techies does, just because, like, oh shit.
Well, it's an excuse to have pyrotechnics. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I don't see that happening, but maybe something else crazy planned. I don't know what that would be. Game mode or something. When is the All-Star match before the main event begins?
No, it's on day 4. I think at the end of the day.
Okay.
That is, I think going into day 5, there are like 4 teams, maybe 5 or 6 teams remaining. It's not many though. A lot of teams will be eliminated that night.
Well, Bounty Rune's coming out, and Na'Vi do manage to get the top one despite Chuan coming in. And
for the snag, 430 will answer with a bounty of his own. So it is going to be the iconic matchup. Ferrari 430 on Dendi, the mid lane. He's blocking for now, leaving a shared tango back. I wonder why. Is just he's got a fresh pack coming out, a salve coming out. That's why.
There's that mid lane aggressive ward here. If the bounty was there, he would have actually sniped the courier. That was some.
That is.
Oh no, the courier hasn't moved back. He should.
Oh,
be able to
Dendi.
That was just in general.
That's okay. Well, it still might get sniped.
Chuan is not invis, by the way.
He just runs it.
Yeah.
Well, a series of miscues here.
I feel like even bringing out that salve was a big misplay. Like, Dendi was lucky that he wasn't there as the salve came out, and then he was a bit more disciplined when he sent the courier home, but that was...
Dendi does have Blink. Chuan's going to make him use it right away here.
Yeah. Olsen back, get the Orb of Venom damage output as well, and see the early CS being kind of denied from the 430 Shadow Fiend, and you always want that early CS to get your Necromastery souls up. Just the one deny for SF.
Meanwhile, a cool and different way to do your jungling here is Faith, where he's able to just lay into these creeps. Doesn't have to worry about a clarity getting canceled and can just freely right-click the big creep. So, position we've seen people use to stack and pull, and even Enchantress to dominate. I don't think I've ever seen a CM farm it from the high ground. Small, cute little thing there, but Luo getting caught out. Rocket Barrage is here for Hippost, and that Hippost copter charges in. Yes, he does. He gets the first blood as well. Off to a good start here from the top lane.
Yeah, that's what's going their way. So this is the answer to the Clinks. Enfeeble spam on an off-lane Bane. Not a bad idea. I'm liking what we're seeing. I mean, burning minus 60 damage.
Yes. Does this mean you heal the creeps?
You can't 1v1 this lane. That's why I think CM's been pulled out of the jungle.
Oh,
meanwhile,
no. You got me distracted. I missed it. The 1v1 trade mid. Dendi looks like he went in there with the initiation, and then 430 hits the raises and ends up getting the kill. Gets the experience, so that puts him at level 4 and change. 3.5 here on Dendi.
I'm getting a lot of scouting information here in the enemy jungle. We'll walk towards the sentry ward here, so that will... Actually, no, it's its own sentry ward.
Block up the camp here.
Panic making his way back. He's gone for 2 points in the Enfeeble, and a CM Clinks lane can't really do much to him. You just Enfeeble the Clinks, and then he does no damage. CM frostbites you, and you're just like, well, I can just right-click the CM, because the Clinks is doing nothing to me. There's only one hero actually doing right-click damage at any given time. The Bane with Brain Sap is going to beat the CM with Frostbite.
Bane has the Bassi coming soon as well, I imagine. Funnick gonna... Oh, maybe he just gets his Tranquil Boots. No, okay, Bassi it is. So
making some mana regen.
8 armor against the CM who has 1. Yeah, you're not winning that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to call it a man fight, because it's not a fair fight.
I don't actually think the CM can really zone Funnick here in a 2v1 scenario, because just for that very reason.
Bane has a really good attack animation, solid base damage, and...
The Searing Arrows did about...
He's tanky.
15 damage a hit, so burning minus 60, but then he gets a bit of bonus from the Searing Arrows. It looked like it was doing about 15 damage, maybe 20.
so far, getting out farmed across the board more or less here, but the one good piece of news was that solo kill for 430. Keeps his experience up, has the bottle, the magic stick as well. Ever so slightly ahead of Dindy in terms of the gold.
Yep. Yeah, he's already managed to get enough souls since returning to this lane. So 4-minute rune coming up, and IG want to Indy here at the top lane, but Na'Vi also in a fight.
There's the tombstone, the silence on the Luo, but he got it down first. He can get off a 2-hero decay and really force Na'Vi back. The zombies march in, working on Dendy, working on Sneeko as well. Raze is coming forth. They might run him down. No blink for 8 seconds. They could chase this a little bit, but not going to opt to. He has bottle charges.
That was...
I'm noticing Burning here is running around Invis just to try and sneak last hits while the Enfeeble isn't cast. And now there's no mana for it, but maybe a Soul Ring's next. Yeah,
I think
think about your damage.
Disassemble the bat so you get like a Soul Ring Tranquil build probably from the Bane, but we'll see.
It just seems so annoying. If he ever gets that next mana regen item, I don't even think you need more points than Enfeeble. The 2 seems more than sufficient for now.
That's plenty, I think. I think at some point it's overkill. You want Nightmare going into the mid game, so getting a 3rd point means you're not getting Enfeeble until like Nightmare until level 9 or something. So I think we'll see him just stick with the 2 points and be happy with that for at least the early to mid game.
Artstyle is off to a slow start here. Only level 1. Checking out the jungle. There's been no stacks thus far. Chuan on that early warding mission was a lane ward, not a jungle ward. Style did whiff another stack. Not getting that additional farm setup too early here for Havost and Dendy.
Yep. Sonic still doing pretty well down bottom. Actually went back for bottle, so get some HP mana regen through that. That burning continuing just to tickle him with these searing arrows.
Do you know, does the Enfeeble does not affect the bonus damage, right? Like even if you have an extra, like let's say you have 50 damage and it's minus 60, it doesn't start rolling over onto the searing arrows, does it?
I'm not sure. I feel like it might. Because it's part of your overall, I feel like it's just like a part of your overall, I guess it's the orb, which does the minus damage affect, like the orb damage. I'm not sure.
That even so, it's just not enough. But when it's maxed, it may help him out quite a bit.
He's got so much armor that, yeah, if it's not blocking it, it's still, like, the Searing Arrows damage alone is getting blocked by this armor of his.
What is chat saying? One person says it does. Oh, it must be true then.
What's his name? Alright, I'm gonna base it based on his name.
Draco Don.
Draco Don. Okay, he sounds trustworthy.
Do you agree with Draco Don?
Yep.
Well,
based on his name, he's trustworthy.
It's not like Arteezy Cryface. So.
Yeah. Look, if he's not there Bible thumping and baby region and what facing, then I'll trust him. He doesn't sound like a what facer.
What facer? They're a special breed. Well, the Invis bros are on the move, and they've both run past the sentry here. And I think there was dire vision in there. Oh, doubling back. They've got the fissure. Might be able to catch one on the cliff. Trying to bait this art style, but man, he takes a lot of damage. And I don't know if you know Bernie was up the cliff. He'll end up dying off the bat here.
Zero armor Skywrath against Clinks. Burning's going to chase him down. He still has death packed up for a couple of seconds. Sneeko
needs 2 arrows. Sneeko no regen. That's the dust for the slow.
Double kill. Bane, Dota, this is the hero. There's a reason Secret's been picking this for the offlane. Sneeko still on the run, neutral deny, not possible.
Gonna happen. What the hell happened with the Bane?
Let's see. Bean's grip happened. That's
grip
all.
And then just slaughtered the CF.
Yeah, it looks like
stood.
Fall down. No, that was used quite a while ago. So
action all over the place. Now the score 4-4. And
you mean you didn't split screen and catch both kills, LD?
No, I failed. Should just leave and go to Dota TV so we can see what happened.
Yeah. Pull up the multicam. Rewind.
You could. Actually.
That's true.
I feel like
the viewers won't get to see it. The viewers out there, you guys can open up Dota TV and should be watching in Dota. Well, you should be watching every way.
It's free advertising now for Dota TV. Then we missed that kill on the Funnick. 430's here with the raise. The brain sap almost brings Funnick back to full HP, but just as quickly, Chuan able to retreat out. They get the kill for 430 and 5-4 the score.
But for those of you out there who don't know, Dota TV, you can latch onto our camera and then you actually rewind and then go to free camera, and if we miss something, you can catch it. You can figure out what happened. Or, in that case, if there's 2 things going on at once at the same time, because we can only be in one place at once.
Radiant's bottom tower
Very defensive warding pattern here from Navi.
Yeah, and it's the smart Obs plus Sentry against Invis roaming heroes like Klink's Bounty Hunter. You don't just put down, like, you can't just have a Sentry Ward without the Observer there because you want to see him move on in. They have two locations where they have this Obs Sentry combo, and that's going to be really useful for the roaming of Burning as well as Tron.
Art looking to apply a bit of pressure here top. Burning just happy he's not enfeeble. Now he's got some real damage to work with. For that. Oh, they found him. There's the grip from Funnick, and right as the death pact ends, the damage begins. Navi will finish him off with ease. Getting on the board again, Burning down. Score 5-5. A back and forth early start here. Golden Experience still fairly close, and both teams look like they want to get their support some levels now. Twan on the bottom side of the map, along with Art Style. Style's taking the harassment for this.
Oh, Funnick's gone in mid with a Brain Sap. There is a follow-up with a Scream Sonic Wave, but
playing it safe.
430 tanky. He was on like 1.1k plus HP when he was on Strength Treads. Yeah, 1081, so they need to do a lot of damage to bring him down. DP bottom
Blake, Scream, Quapbolt, and Schwan removed, deleted from the lane. Give Dendy his first action outside of that mid lane. Makes it 2-1 for him. Along with the kill he had earlier in 430, but 430 is the real breadwinner here when it comes to net worth. The mech's coming out in short order. He's just completed the headdress, and overall having a good start.
Radiant Shadow Fiend things. I mean, the CM took that big camp to some extent, but actually was stacking it while taking a few of the big creeps. But CM repays you with Brilliance Aura. 3 points in the Arcane Aura, and that's really been able to help sustain the Shadow Fiend. I mean, help sustain everyone. Klinks has a lot of mana problems. Shadow Fiend can just spam races a bit more freely. Undying can often have mana problems, so this Arcane Aura has been very handy for Aid.
IG going back to the woods now, and the item progression is going to look like Burning's still sitting on the Mango. I'm not sure if we're ever going to see him use it at this point. Once you get your Soul Rain in the kill, you generally don't run out. As they make their go on Tron bottom, they did pop the dust. He needs to hit a creep to remove this slow, but when he goes in, it's going to cost him his life. Bernie rotates, though. He hits one. He's looking for a second. Art Style life, pumping those arrows into him. Will finish him off. Sears him. Leaves him scorched and in the well. Burnt snack. That's it.
Nice response from Burning. Immediately ran towards bottom lane, and he can just go in so freely once they've engaged there because Fissure's on cooldown, the Silence and the Skywrath nukes are on cooldown. He just had free reign to completely engage there, and against a Skywrath Earthshaker, Skywrath especially, 0 armor still, just 3 armor on the Earthshaker and less than 800 HP. Those are 2 easy kills for him to pick up.
Could be a time for the Mango pop. Burning, even with the Soul Ring usage, running a bit low on the mana pool.
If he engages with like a strafe on someone, maybe he needs that little bit of extra. You go in with a strafe and you don't have skeleton walk mana.
I'm just hyped for the Mango. I'm watching Funnick top lane. He swings around looking for Luo, can get the tombstone down. Funnick's gonna have to back. Fawn was the one to rotate in. Post is dangerously low here. Does not diving into that.
Guys, do you want to take this bottom tier 1 tower there? They've even rotated in with Smoke, Ferrari 430, and Faith.
Art Style. Oh, if he gets frostbitten, he's in a lot of trouble, but had a good angle there for the defensive fissure, so they'll just take the tower.
The 430 tax comes into play. It's like, sweet guys, easy tier 1 tower.
Burning is playing second fiddle right now. Yeah. The opposite of what we saw with DK, where it would normally be Mushi and more of that supporting utility mid role, but the farming mids are more back in vogue now, and it's 430 taking the lion's share.
So after the mech, we'll have to see if he just goes straight into that BKB. We've seen a few Yule Scepter games here or there, but Yule Scepter nice this game. You can get rid of the Skywrath Silence and potentially dodge something like a call down, but we'll see if that's going to be the plan. You kind of want to have BKB similarly. You can dodge, I mean, you can at least stop the damage from the call down. You can negate a lot of the disables, nukes coming out from Skywrath.
Oh, Art Style. Burning's been waiting patiently for him. Oh, he saw him. Thing comes out. Looks like he was about to get him too. Art Style really wanted to walk out and farm this wave, and this would have been his downfall, but does end up backing off in the end. Now we're top being pressure. Meanwhile, Havost just dropping in the lane slightly, but there's a rotation for 430. He raises out the wave. They still have the tombstone with the mech, and that is probably the bulk of IG's team fight. Something Na'Vi really want to be fighting into.
Yeah, 430 keeping the lane really suggests they want to keep that up, although they're not going to try pressure the lane at all with him. He immediately rotates back towards mid. Maybe worried about Na'Vi seeing his TP top and looking for a jump on mid with Dendi, who does Sonic Wave again, up to 2k gold. Dendi not really committing to any item direction just yet. We're not seeing much of the Orchid Queen of Pain. Been more towards the Aghanim Scepter rush these days.
It has been, and not so much what I feel like is kind of the style of Dendi, but it does feel like the item that he's going to need. He's rather squishy right now and can be strafed down by burning fairly quickly. Speaking of burning, Deso Rush, we've seen this almost every game nowadays. It's the Ogre Club, and either a BKB or, I mean, I doubt a Sanjin Yasha, but
almost got it, yeah.
You don't really need the move speed on Clinks.
Almost got to be a BKB, and a hero who the Ogre Club strength isn't even that handy for, because you get so much survivability from Death Pact. I mean, it's still HP, it's still some survivability, but it's not going to be a huge difference maker.
They're going on Funnick. They do try to slow him down here, but he jukes into the trees. The race is coming out. Tombstone will break those trees. Frostbite holds him in position. He goes for the brain set. Not enough. The golden Tombstone marks his grave as he will die.
Yeah, that's a tanky Bane.
Oh, the Invis bros are showing up now. Burning, looking. He could get a double here if they're not careful. He's Dendi. Hunts for the squishies. So Nico's the man he wants. That's the dust, though.
That Death Pact's wearing off, though. It's got to be very careful and bite around the Death Pact.
Death Pact with a much lower cooldown later on, so that you can basically have it up with 10 seconds to spare. But at this stage, you got to wait a little bit to get a fresh one.
Yeah, level 1 is a bit pesky, where you've got only a small, 35-second duration.
Yeah, you've got the 10-second downtime.
Yeah, you've always got the 35-second duration, but it's always about the downtime from the cooldown.
Do take the tower now with the mech, a double damage room bottled up for 430. IG getting more active on the map, not forfeiting any objectives of their own. It's Na'Vi who are forced back into a corner a bit. Graf has slowly been climbing the IG way since the early laning stage, with tracks being spammed out and additional aggression likely in the offing. They're going to rotate on mid. They've got the Glimmer Cape on Luo. Additional defensive capabilities available for the team now. They may even press in mid.
It's quite an even game overall on farm, but yeah, it does feel like IG are just being a bit better at grouping up, taking towers, taking objectives, and Na'Vi don't seem to be moving with any clear plan to take fights, although that's about to change now. Havos has SMY, and it does seem like Na'Vi are gearing up for a big team fight around the mid lane.
Both teams eyeing each other across the river here.
IG will have much more info. They've got the tracks going flying out, and even in a team fight that just allows the bounty hunter Chuan to get multiple hero shurikens off, he can dish out a lot more damage, and they'll always have full vision, especially with the Urshing. We talked about how he'd like to sit back and fog, throw those fissures when you're not really expecting it, but having a bounty hunter can really help deal with it.
A bounty hunter, and, well, additionally, some good aggressive wards here for the side of IG. You can see one placed down at both hills, kind of across the map, giving them generally good vision and the runes and the Roshan area. And then on top of that, they've got an observer ward deeper in the Na'Vi jungle. And now the tracks continue to be spammed. Chuan, again, keeping tabs on that, as you called him, pesky Earthshaker, but not so pesky when he's completely seen like that.
430 about to pick up a completed BKB as well. 17 minutes in, he is well on track to being that scary late game Shadow Fiend. Bottom, they want Funnick. DM nearby. This is not an... I don't know if it's a kill they actually can get, because Funnick just has Nightmare, Brain Sap. These two heroes alone might not be enough.
Oh, they did see him. It looks like the ping's coming out. Although, despite the ping coming out, Funnick's really playing it close here. He tries to bait them in a bit further, but Burning just going to fence in and out.
I think he realizes, like, hey, this is a CM Clink. They can't actually really kill me.
While that's going on, there's also pressure mount on mid. 430 with the BKB. He can commit to this pretty heavily. Bit worried about wasting that BKB charge, though. Gotta be efficient with it.
Yeah, they're not completely grouped up. Tron's actually off in the top lane, getting a bit of farming experience, so he'll hit level 8, max out the Shuriken, and even just getting like a medallion or the start of a mech for your team is going to be pretty useful. Oh, they've already got the mech, so probably see like a medallion pickup, and from there, Chuan can just go into some useful utility items. So IG can, they're pressuring towers. That's the big thing for me with Na'Vi, is at no point have they really gone for a T1 tower. The top one's taken a lot of damage, but that was just kind of the nature of the Radiant safe lane. And the one time where they killed the Undying, and well, they've actually killed him twice, where they've just opened up the lane and done some damage. They've never really gone for a mid-game push anywhere on the map.
Definitely not 430 that they want. That's the toughest hero. Well, I'm sure they'd like him, but getting him will be another matter. He's off towards the top side of the world, and Sicong will grab an Invis rune. He too joins the ranks of the unseen. Farm through the jungle, just playing defensive Dota here. Is there going to be a smoke from IG? Not yet, and they're all scouted out right now by an observer ward. Probably suspect one of those Invis little buggers is running around their woods, given the aggressive position of Luo, but they can't really punish it. Archstyle even seeing 3-4 hero fissures potentially awaiting him. They just do not want to go into the Tombstone, into the BKB mech. It's just not the kind of fight Navi's going to be able to take.
Navi, most of the net worth disadvantage they have, it's only 1,000 right now, has come just from how proactive they've had to have been with sentries and observer wards around, defensively around their own jungle. They've actually kind of slackened off a bit over the last few minutes. There's no sentries defending their jungle anymore, apart from the one which Sicong just placed next to an obs, but in general, I think they just like, well, let's just stick together a bit more and not waste as much money as we have been on these sentries. They also get a D ward off there, so nice bit of counter warding coming out from Sicong.
They got that one up for quite some time. IG still getting the value out of it. And Chuan and Burning may run into Sicong here, but it's Dendi arriving now. Chuan's on the run. Silenced up for now. Dusted as well. He can throw out a secondary track if he wants to. Goes back in with the Shuriken. Not going to matter.
That was super defensive from Burning. He had to kill there on Sicong. I guess he is worried about the backup.
Did he just get this? I think he had the BKB.
He had the BKB there. He could have just gone on Sicong, and if backup shows up, then you BKB, but there wasn't any backup apart from Dendi, and Dendi was not going to kill Clinks in that scenario, so.
And they had to expect someone from Navi would be mid because they were also pushing mid, so just very, very passive play from Burning.
It was they didn't have the vision, but it does, it was still overly defensive.
It goes to what you said during the draft, which is, well, is Clinks the Burning hero? He has had some good games on historically, if I recall. Goes on mid. Well, that certainly makes it look like it is. He's going to chew through Archstyle. Now looking for Dendi, who's tracked up, has the blink at 5. Bernie won't be able to kill him, but he's forced him out of the fight.
He's willing to. That to me is like he's willing to BKB there just for a support Earthshaker. It feels like he should have tried and fought the Skywrath Mage if he's willing to BKB for support. But does put IG in a good position where Earthshaker's out of the picture. They can pressure tier 2 tower, move through the enemy jungle and get down some wards if they had some, which it doesn't look like they actually have any on them. So Courier arrives, and there we go. So observers and sentries for Faith. He can put down some deep wards now.
Puts down one on the ramp, just out of range of the standard sentry placement. Sometimes we even see one up towards the lane if you're worried about a northern lane ward. Novosta's gone into the Dominator, but now up to 3,000 gold, so he is keeping his farm up. Will remain the most farmed here. Oh, Dendi. Kaboom! Finds Chuan. Gets the pick. Long last Navi with some momentum, and now pressing on mid, but I don't know if they can push into this BKB Requiem, even with the kill. 430, warning them. Navi not taking the warning. In fact, they're going in on the Luo, but he's got a Glimmer Cape. Stick charges and a Tombstone. He just needs to get that tomb up, and he does in the middle of the fight. Now the Requiem forcing Havost back. He's fast with the Sanjin Yasha. They need double raise to come out, and it will. 430, finishing him off. In the meanwhile, down mid goes Burning, and he's going to start chewing through the supports. Can't quite finish the job on Sicong. There's a sentry here. 3 more auto attacks should do it. He gets the last from distance, and down will fall Archstyle. The rotations of the BKB carries far too much for Navi to handle, and they are punished. They did not get the tower. 4 heroes moving on mid, and with the Shadow Fiend Clinks duo about to get a fresh Death Pact, they'll be taking the tier 2 here as well. Yeah,
they could even potentially consider making a move towards Roshan if they wanted to immediately after this tier 2 with a Death Pact Clinks and Shadow Fiend with some minus armor. There's a Roche taking potential in the maze. That was just the one track kill going IG's way, but overall a very successful team fight and hold. Navi just going too aggressive on an Undying who they couldn't kill.
It really feels like Navi is just, they're eager to fight, but they're just not that strong right now. Well, the strong ones are on the side of IG. They've got the BKBs, the Glimmer Cape, and you are pushing into Requiem Tombstone with limited burst. They had already dropped the Queen of Pain on a bounty hunter.
ALD, he just ate his Mango.
Mango hype!
23 minutes in. He went on the Earthshaker, didn't have mana for Searing Arrows after he strafed, and then Mangoed afterwards. without actually getting
putting on the jukes, putting on the jukes. Now Dendy posts to run.
Field.
No, slept. He's might get slept denied. Bunny's gonna fall. Dendy could be in danger as their shuriken toss. Not quite in range. He's got another blink available. Decay can't get there. Bunnick sacrificing himself for the greater good.
Also, Nico in a very deep spot, and the Radiant Ward spotted this movement. There's a courier as well. Track comes out. Burning still wants to chase.
Is he going all the way to the high ground for this? Not quite that far.
So courier makes it past as well unnoticed. Track's all over the place though, and this with that track vision, they're going to get this tier 2 tower probably uncontested.
And then the Roche you mentioned, that seems like a different way to go about it if you're IG. Safe.
SF minus armor, bounty hunter medallion.
Dire's bottom tower.
SF Sanjin Yasha.
Yep.
Well, items for everybody. And Midas
Oh,
for
that's a
Luon.
death. Okay, more minus armor.
Now they're definitely Roshan. He'll grab a creep here real quick, Bernie.
Yeah, I imagine that's the case, but team already headed towards the pit.
Probably annoyed to find one of these creeps in half HP.
Yeah, that's always the worst.
You ever see that? Or worst is if you have auto attack on and you accidentally hit the creep before you eat it.
The thing that
Makes
I
you
get
sad.
really bothered at is when my support's like, oh, I see you're about to jungle this big camp. Let me just start working on it so I can help you kill it. It's like, I'm a Clinks. I need this creep to be full HP. Come on. They like, just nuke a big creep to try and help you kill it.
Fall down gets blown just to scout here for Na'Vi. Pavos, no butterfly just yet. Now they do have a good AoE combo, but lacking the call down. 430 just marches in. He'll try to solo the Roshan down here. Burning only applying a little bit of help initially. The Medallion doing what it needs to. The Tombstone not deployed, and Na'Vi do have vision, but Pavos can't get in range for this one, so he's not able to even damage the Golden Menace.
You have to get so far out of position to kill that tomb. It's not having vision. Just it doesn't feel like it's enough on its own.
Even if Dendy starts poking at it, it's going to be too late. Does he go for the Age of Steel, or is there going to be some sort of big combo play? No, there's going to be a retreat. It's a bunch of zombies furiously forcing Na'Vi back. But the creeps are doing Na'Vi's work. They take the tower top.
Creeps the real MVP for Na'Vi.
Oh, at this point, it seems they're going to be required. They're going to need their help.
Yeah, because over the last 5 minutes, IG have pulled about 6,000-7,000 net worth ahead, and suddenly it was like, okay, you've got a BKB Clean Speed. He's not that scary because he's gone for this defensive item. Even the BKB Shadow Fiend was, yeah, a problem. He was going to get Requims in fight, but now everyone has that additional item.
Dendy really wanting to hold on to this ultimate, and he will get the Chuan kill solo. Nicely played there.
Almost missed you.
The 2 sentries do come in handy in the end. We'll snag a bounty rune, but it's the bounty hunter. He's the one who keeps on dying, and he's definitely the least important hero to give up. No track gold to be had for Na'Vi. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah, and be curious to see if I'd go for any kind of a high ground siege right now. They've kind of get up for it with the SMY and the Shadow Fiend Burning having a Desolator, but pushing into the high ground against like Earthshaker, Gyro, Queen of Pain is a scary proposition. I think IG feel like they can maybe just play a farming game for a little bit longer, at least until probably the second Roshan or something. Get map control, pick up a gem, de-ward some of the vision Na'Vi have. Even taking out sentry wards when you've got Clinks and Bounty Hunter can go a long way. So
I don't know if you're seeing 430's positioning, but this is just a little ridiculous. The team wasn't even nearby when he's just chilling here, ready to march in. He was thinking about a dive to kill off the Skywrath of Sunico, who was spotted by the Radiant Observer. Opts to wait for the team now, so he'll slow it down and take a chill pill. He's been going the vroom vroom speed all game so far.
So
Dendy. He wastes that blink at the wrong time or goes in with it. Could be going out.
yeah.
And maybe they can have a crack at him.
It's good news for Na'Vi that he can at least still move out on the map and not really be punished for this. Outside of a Frostbite, the lockdown for IG is actually lackluster. But IG geared up 4 heroes mid. They haven't got Clinks with them. Burning. Gonna make his way towards bottom lane. Maybe hoping to like try and punish a Dendy TP. If Dendy goes to TP back, he could go for a strafe kill. He can't actually kill him, but he can do a lot of damage and force Dendy to have to heal up, maybe. But he's actually headed towards Secret Shop.
Flap its way out of there. Burning waits. Dendy will get scouted. Didn't strafe. He blinks onto the high ground, maybe with a full strafe. They cancel the TP. One more auto take uphill. This is not good enough. And Dendy gives up a dominating streak as well as his life. Q perhaps for IG to push. No, Burning, he sees
Radiant's
creeps.
bottom tower
Sees
is under
creeps, he
attack.
wants to death. Not in any hurry, as you pointed out.
So how much longer are the Aegis? They've got 2 minutes about. And here comes. So Burning, he got about... Yeah, he's got 20 seconds left on this death pack. This is going to be a glyph forced out probably. And maybe even a lane of Rax if Queen of Pain doesn't buy back.
IG looking to 2-0 Na'Vi. Can they get their first full win of the event? This team came in as, I think in a lot of viewers' eyes and a lot of fans' eyes, a threat to finish top 6. And well, I wouldn't rule them out just yet, but they need this momentum. They really do. As for Na'Vi, just looking to stay in and get as much as they can. Mystic Flare goes into Burning. He's forced to BKB. They glimmer him out. And Shadow Fiend able to clean up art style. 430 starting to hit exceedingly hard. The Shuriken gonna bounce to all 3 heroes. Nice zoning tool. Round 2 of the push commences now with the tower freshly killed off. BKB still ready on 430. Aegis still online. Double damage rune also about to wear off, but applied for the moment. And, well, God Black gonna wake up 430 with a little chat. Didn't actually see that one, but Dendy almost dropping to a track force back. The Deso damage intensely painful here. And they will finally pop the Aegis, but the Shuriken tosses just keep on whittling down these supports. So Nico down low. IG with the Tombstone down, with the Aegis expended. Maybe gonna wait. Tombstone about to respawn, and oh, that was a dire courier. Courier death. We've had 5 on the day.
Was that Havos Butterfly? Yeah, that was Havos Butterfly. Was going to the shop to buy the talisman.
Oh, you're right. He already had the quarter step, but he gets caught. The double raids comes out. No Butterfly for Havos. He will have the buyback. Has to use it immediately. That ends the ambition of picking one up. They hold the Requiem for now. If Na'Vi chases, 430 may try to turn with this one. Oh, he's waiting for it. Burning's also waiting for openings. He chews throws out 2 shots, the poor fella, and then turns on Phonic, blows him up as well. Now IG looking for Rex. They hit the kill switch. They will bring down the mid lane, and they can rotate on bottom. Keeps piling in. There's no buyback on Gyro. The cooldown already used up earlier, and away they go.
Yeah,
cooldown up in 10, but
It's going to be so careful.
GG.
Na'Vi just
Na'Vi clocked.
no answer to the 430 Shadow Fiend. And 430's played a great series. His Storm game 1 this time around, not quite the same like high impact kill after kill style of play, but just solid performance on Shadow Fiend. And IG looked pretty good this series. I think overall it's definitely a good sign moving forward to the main event, even though they start in the lower bracket.
Still surprising to see a team of IG's caliber, especially starting there. Na'Vi, they did have to work their way into the event the hard way, and well,